In problem 2, you're in a plane and you've got an airspeed of 64.8 meters per second and you're facing northeast. And so you're going 64.8 meters per second and you're 26.4 degrees north of east. So the velocity of the plane with respect to the air has to be broken down into its two components. What are they? Well, 64.8 meters per second times the cosine of 26.4 degrees is the I hat component, because that's adjacent to the x piece, and 64.8 meters per second times the sine of 26.4 degrees is the j hat component. That's the opposite piece. So now we have the velocity of the plane with respect to the air. The wind is blowing. The wind has a velocity of 15.94 meters per second to the southwest at an angle of 24.8 degrees to the south of west. So the wind is back over here. What is that? 24.8 degrees. Its velocity is 15.94 meters per second. So the velocity of the wind, or the velocity of the air with respect to the ground, has to be broken down into its two components. And notice both of its components are going to end up being negative. Why? One is pointed in minus x direction, the other is pointed in the minus y direction. So here we have minus 15.94 meters per second times the cosine of 24.8 degrees I hat minus 15.94 meters per second times the sine of 24.8 degrees j hat. So we have our I hat components, we have our j hat components. All right. The question is, what's the ground speed of the aircraft? Well, we have plane to air, we have air to ground, and we just have to add those together. So velocity of plane to ground is velocity of the plane to air plus velocity of the air to ground. You add the two I hat components, you add the two j hat components. That's going to give you an x piece and a y piece. To get your ground speed, what do? All right, so you're going to have some VPGX I hat plus some VPGY j hat. What do you have to do to get the ground speed? This squared plus this squared, take the square root so that you get the magnitude of your velocity, which is your speed. And that's how you work this problem. Good luck.